Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Noreen. Today we have brought up and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. Target Israel and we will target you. US Senators letter to ICC over seeking Netanyahu's arrest. US opposes Israel shutdown of Al Jazeera. TikTok sues US government saying potential ban violates First Amendment. Actor Stormy Daniels testifies about sex with Trump hush money payments. The Met Gala was in full bloom with Zendaya, Jennifer Lopez, Mindy Kaling among the standout stars. Chinese National Day and cultural program held at the Chinese Embassy in Washington, D.C. Putin sworn in for another term as a Russian president in glittering Kremlin ceremony. India votes in third phase of national elections as Modi escalates his rhetoric against Muslims. China hospital attack leaves 2 dead, 21 wounded. Russian plot to kill Zelensky foiled, Kiev says. Pro-Palestinian protest, police break up demos in Berlin, Amsterdam. Army investigating whether detained US soldier was lured to Russia by intelligence services. And Maradona's Golden Ball trophy goes to auction. You were listening to Headlines, now news in detail. 12 US Republican senators on April 24 sent a letter to Karim Khan, the chief prosecutor of International Criminal Court (ICC), warning that the institution would face severe sanctions if it issues arrest warrants against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli officials. They said that the issuing of an arrest warrant against the Israeli leadership would be interpreted as a threat to Israel's sovereignty, but to the sovereignty of the United States. Our country demonstrated in the American Service Members Protection Act the lengths to which we will go to protect that sovereignty. Calling such actions illegitimate and lacking legal basis, the senators wrote that Israel's ongoing assault on Gaza were part of legitimate actions of self-defense against their Iranian-backed aggressors. In fact, in your own words, you witnessed scenes of calculated cruelty conducted by Hamas in Israel following the October 7 attacks. These arrest warrants would align the ICC with the largest state sponsor of terrorism and its proxy. To be clear, there is no moral equivalence between Hamas's terrorism and Israel's justified response. The United States said Monday it opposed ally Israel's closure of Qatar-based news channel Al Jazeera, saying it should be allowed to operate despite any concerns about its coverage. We think Al Jazeera ought to be able to operate in Israel, operate in other countries in the region, State Department spokesman Matthew Miller said, adding that the United States was quite concerned about the Israeli move. TikTok is suing the United States government in an effort to stop enforcement of a bill passed last month that seeks to force the app's Chinese owner to sell the app or have it banned. The lawsuit, filed Tuesday in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit, argues that the bill, the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, violates constitutional protections of free speech. The suit calls the law an unprecedented violation of the First Amendment. For the first time in history, Congress has enacted a law that subjects a single named speech platform to a permanent nationwide ban. TikTok wrote in the lawsuit, and bars every American from participating in a unique online community with more than 1 billion people worldwide. The company argues that invoking national security concerns is not a sufficient reason for restricting free speech and that the burden is on the federal government to prove that this restriction is warranted. It has not met that burden, the lawsuit stated. Porn performer Stormy Daniels took the witness stand Tuesday in the historic hush money case against former President Donald Trump, who looked on as she detailed their alleged sexual encounter and the payment she got to keep it quiet. Prosecutors allege Trump paid Daniels to keep quiet about the allegations as he ran for president in 2016. Her testimony Tuesday aired them very publicly as the presumptive Republican presidential nominee seeks to win the White House again. Trump denies having sex with Daniels, and his lawyers unsuccessfully pushed for a mistrial midway through her testimony. It's the biggest spectacle yet in the first criminal trial of a former American president, now in its third week of testimony in Manhattan. Daniels testified she first met and chatted with Trump at a 2006 Lake Tahoe celebrity golf outing where her studio was a sponsor. He referred to her as the smart one and asked her if she wanted to go to dinner. Daniels testified that she accepted Trump's invitation because she wanted to avoid dinner with her co-workers and thought it might help her career. Trump had his bodyguard get her number, she said. When they met up later in his penthouse, she appreciated that he seemed interested in the business aspects of the industry rather than the sexy stuff. He also suggested putting her on his TV show, The Apprentice, a possibility she hoped could help establish her as a writer and director. She left to use the bathroom and was startled to find Trump in his underwear when she returned, she said. She didn't feel physically or verbally threatened, but realized that he was bigger and blocking the way, she testified. The next thing I knew was I was on the bed and they were having sex, Daniels recalled. The encounter was brief but left her shaking, she said. I just wanted to leave, she testified. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. The Met Gala and its fashionista A-listers on Monday included Jennifer Lopez, Zendaya and a parade of others in a swirl of flora and fauna looks on a green-tinged carpet lined by live foliage. Lopez went for silver lips in a second skin goddess gown, and Zendaya was all vamp and fantasy in a rare double appearance on the steps of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Both were co-chairs of the annual fundraiser, and both received cheers from the crowd of fashion enthusiasts packed behind barriers outside. Lopez was all va-va-voom in a near-naked gown. She's got the Met Gala down, it's her 14th. Zendaya put on her fashion face in peacock hues of blue and green with a headpiece to match and leaf accents. The look was Maison Margiela by John Galliano. She walked again to close the carpet in black Givenchy haute couture gown, also by Galliano, with a headpiece stuffed with flowers by Alexander McQueen. It's been 5 years since Zendaya last attended the gala. Lopez went with Tiffany and Kong diamonds, including a stunning bird motif necklace with a diamond of over 20 carats at its center. Flowers were everywhere, in line with this year's theme, The Garden of Time, inspired by J.G. Ballard's 1962 short story of the same name. The Chinese National Day and Cultural Program was held at the Chinese Embassy in Washington, D.C. on May 4. On the occasion, a wonderful cultural program was organized highlighting the magnificent culture of the Chinese people. Traditional food was also arranged for the guests attending the event. Millennium TV US and Millennium News 24 team, along with Millennium TV CEO Mr. Taufath Noor, attended the event at the invitation of the Chinese Embassy. On the other hand, Chinese, Mongolian, Tibetan, Taiwanese, and Muslim-dominated Chinese held protest outside the embassy. Now it's time for global updates. Vladimir Putin was sworn in for his 5th term as Russia's leader Tuesday, renewing his dominance over the country in a glittering Kremlin ceremony as his army advances in Ukraine at the height of Moscow's worst confrontation with the West since the Soviet era. Putin, 71, extended his rule in an effectively uncontested election in March, having crushed any political opposition and launched the invasion of Ukraine that set Russia on its path to unprecedented global isolation and domestic repression. Having tightened his quarter-century grip on power, Putin placed his hand atop the Russian constitution at Tuesday's ceremony and vowed to serve the Russian people. "We are a united and great people, and together we will overcome all obstacles, realize all our plans. Together we will win," he said after being sworn in before a grand hall filled with dignitaries. The United States and many other Western countries boycotted the inauguration, which came just a day after Putin's latest round of nuclear saber-rattling. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. Millions of Indian voters across 93 constituencies were casting ballots on Tuesday as Prime Minister Narendra Modi mounted an increasingly shrill election campaign, ramping up polarizing rhetoric in incendiary speeches that have targeted the Muslim minority. In recent campaign rallies, Modi has called Muslims infiltrators and said they have too many children, referring to a Hindu nationalist trope that Muslims produce more children with the aim of outnumbering Hindus in India. He has also accused the rival Indian National Congress Party of scheming to loot wealth from the country's Hindus and redistribute it among Muslims, who comprise 14% of India's more than 1.4 billion people. Tuesday's polling in the third round of multi-phase national elections has crucial seats up for grabs in states including Karnataka, Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh. Most polls predict a win for Modi and his Bharatiya Janata Party, which is up against a broad opposition alliance led by the Congress and powerful regional parties. The staggered election will run until June 1 and votes will be counted on June 4. Modi, who voted in western Ahmedabad city on Tuesday, had kicked off his campaign with a focus on economic progress, promising he would make India a developed nation by 2047. But in recent weeks, he and the ruling BJP have doubled down heavily on their Hindu nationalism platform, with Modi employing some of his most divisive rhetoric in his decade in power. 2 people were dead and 21 wounded after a man went on a stabbing spree at a hospital in southwest China on Tuesday, local officials said. A knife attack occurred at the Chengnan Hospital in Zhejiang County, which resulted in 2 deaths and 21 injuries, a statement on the county's official WeChat account said. The suspect, a man from a nearby village, is under investigation, authorities said. The wounded were being treated in hospital, they added. Images published by the state-run news site, the paper, appeared to show a man pointing a knife at another man wielding a stick in a hospital lobby, as well as police officers arriving at the scene. Mass violent crime is rare in China, which strictly prohibits citizens from owning firearms, but there has been a spate of stabbings in recent years. Ukraine said Tuesday it had unraveled a Russian plot to assassinate senior Ukrainian political and military figures, including President Vladimir Zelensky. 2 Ukrainian security officials were arrested for their links to the group, which had aimed to carry out high-profile killings ahead of Russian President Vladimir Putin's inauguration Tuesday. The terrorist attack, which was supposed to be a gift to Putin for his inauguration, was in fact a failure of the Russian Secret Service. Vasyl Melyuk, head of the Security Service of Ukraine, said in a statement. Kiev says Zelensky has been targeted by Russia on multiple earlier occasions, including at the beginning of the Russian invasion in February 2022. The SBU said it had exposed a network of agents set up by Russia's Federal Security Service tasked with identifying individuals close to Zelensky's security detail who could take the Ukrainian leader hostage and kill him. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. Police on Tuesday broke up pro-Palestinian demonstrations at universities in Amsterdam and Berlin, which were inspired by similar demonstrations on campuses around the world. At the University of Amsterdam, images on public broadcaster NOS showed police baton charging protesters and smashing up tents at around 4 a.m. after they refused to leave the campus. The demonstration took on a violent nature because later in the evening, massive stones were removed from the ground, police said in a statement. Police also cleared a pro-Palestinian demonstration at Berlin's Free Universität after up to 80 people set up a protest camp in a courtyard of the campus early Tuesday. The protesters, some of whom wore the keffiyeh scarf that has long been a symbol of the Palestinian cause, sat in front of tents and waved banners. They later tried to enter rooms and lecture halls and occupy them, according to the university, which said it then called in the police to clear the protest. Videos on social media showed some protesters being carried away by officers. A Russian court confirmed Tuesday that a U.S. soldier would be held in custody for at least 2 months after he was arrested on theft charges. Pervomensky District Court in Vladivostok arrested American soldier Gordon Black until July 2 under the theft article of Russia's criminal code, court spokeswoman Elena Oleneva said in a statement. Black, who holds the rank of Staff Sergeant, was detained in Russia last week and will be held in pre-trial detention, the court said in a separate statement, referring only to U.S. citizen B. The court said Black was charged with secretly stealing property of a person referred to as Citizen T, adding that this had caused the alleged victim significant damage. His detention was to prevent him from evading charges, the court said. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 17,994.27. The NYSE composite is increased by 30.43 points or 0.17%. Tokyo stock close price is 38,835.10. The Nikkei 225 index is increased by 599.03 points or 1.57%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,147.74. The Shanghai index is increased by 7.02 points or 0.22%. Hong Kong stock close price is 18,479.37. The Hang Seng index is decreased by 98.93 points or 0.53%. Bombay stock close price is 73,511.85. The Sensex index is decreased by 383.69 points or 0.52%. Let's have a look on today's sports story. Diego Maradona's Golden Ball trophy won for being named the best player at the 1986 World Cup will be auctioned in France in June, the Agat's auction house said on Tuesday. This is the first golden ball to go for auction, and while the value is still to be confirmed, the auction house expects it to fetch millions on June 6. Maradona, who died in 2020, won the award after leading Argentina to World Cup victory in Mexico, scoring 5 goals at the finals where he captained his country and played every minute of the tournament. That tournament is probably best remembered for Maradona's 2 goals against England in the quarter-finals. The jersey he wore that day, along with the ball from the match, have both previously been sold at auction. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Target Israel and we will target you. US Senators letter to ICC over seeking Netanyahu's arrest. US opposes Israel shutdown of Al Jazeera. TikTok sues US government, saying potential ban violates First Amendment. Actor Stormy Daniels testifies about sex with Trump hush money payments. The Met Gala was in full bloom with Zendaya, Jennifer Lopez, Mindy Kaling among the standout stars. Chinese National Day and cultural program held at the Chinese Embassy in Washington, D.C. Putin sworn in for another term as a Russian president in glittering Kremlin ceremony. India votes in third phase of national elections as Modi escalates his rhetoric against Muslims. China hospital attack leaves 2 dead, 21 wounded. Russian plot to kill Zelensky foiled, Kiev says. Pro-Palestinian protest, police break up demos in Berlin, Amsterdam. Army investigating whether detained US soldier was lured to Russia by intelligence services. And Maradona's Golden Ball trophy goes to auction. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our website. Our website address is www.millenniumnews24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.